We are back with another episode of Overanalyzing Made in Abyss. This is the last episode of Season 1, The Liberation of the Soul. We are back where we left off in the last episode. We see Nanachi wants to cook dinner, but Rek doesn't allow it and tries to cook the shrumber himself. But he ends up making something far more disgusting than Nanachi's netherworld stew. Truly redeemable. We see Nanachi reading a section of Harumari collection to Mitty here. It's about the Emperorshells that inhibit the 6th layer. We've talked about them in previous episodes, and later, when we reach Sarajo's arc, we'll discuss them in more depth. Nanachi falls asleep and Mitty goes back to Riko. Rek is struggling to decide what to do about Nanachi's request. It's a huge moral dilemma, to set someone free by killing them. He finally decides to talk about it with Nanachi. He says that maybe Mitty is okay with living here alongside Nanachi. But Nanachi points out something really important. Mitty is immortal, and even if she is not in a terrible environment right now, once Nanachi dies, she'll have no one to care for her and will suffer for eternity. She won't be able to prepare food despite feeling hunger. She won't be able to escape danger despite feeling all the pain it causes. After hearing Nanachi's reasoning, Rek agrees to set her free with all the strength he has left. But he asks Nanachi to promise him something, not to kill themselves after Mitty is gone. The answer Nanachi gives is truly painful. They find this promise incredibly cruel, but they make it for the sake of their loved one. The story of Nanachi and Mitty is honestly one of the best love stories I've ever experienced. The idea of someone wishing for the death of the person they love is so unique and profound. Even trying to kill them themselves only bring them even more excruciating pain and end up back where they started. This is peak writing. After all, the main theme of this arc is love and sacrifice. Nanachi sacrifice all their own desires, that is to stay with their treasure and live alongside their loved one, for Mitty's sake. Nanachi prepares to set Mitty free, along with all her toys and belongings. Just as Reg is about to do it, Nanachi hesitates and stops him. For their final conversation, Nanachi begs for forgiveness for everything that has happened and everything that is yet to happen. Then they finally tell Reg to do it. We see the Incinerator completely disintegrates Mitty. The Incinerator apparently does something that goes against the rules of nature, especially the conservation of information and energy. We need to understand the light of essence and its properties to know what exactly happens. We also see that Reg can change the shape of his Incinerator shot into a sphere, just like he does later in the 3rd movie at Idefront. After liberating Mitty, Reg starts crying, but hearing Nanachi cry even harder makes him go over and comfort them. Nanachi has accomplished their she desire, the initial wish that began their journey to liberate Mitty's soul. After Reg passes out, we see him remembering a moment from his past. He and Liza are together, and Liza is cooking for him. They seem to be inside a narrow cave. This is the complete opposite of what we've seen in the 6th and 7th layers so far. The absolute boundary is vast. This raises the question, where exactly are they? Maybe the abyss becomes incredibly tight and claustrophobic as we approach the bottom. We see Reg feeling sad, but he doesn't remember why. This is really important and might suggest that he has lost his memories multiple times, or that he can switch souls like we saw in the 3rd movie. Based on everything we know, he definitely seems to have accumulated multiple souls. We still need more information to understand exactly how Reg works. Liza tells him to come eat, and then they need to head out. Reg wakes up and sees that Riko is finally awake as well, helping Nanachi cook properly. Riko makes a dish using demon fish. In the manga, you can read all the recipes in detail, so check them out if you're interested. It's the first time Nanachi has ever eaten truly good food. It's also really sad that Mitty never had the chance to taste delicious food. Nanachi's mouth is having an orgasm. Riko senses that somebody is missing. She explains what her delirium was about while she was unconscious. We've already talked about how Mitty helped Riko regain her identity and prevented her from becoming lost. We once again see a strong claustrophobic imagery, and we see Mitty in a really strange form, completely emotionless. This is unsettling because it might suggest that the afterlife in this story is something far more stranger and more alien than we imagine. It's not a happy or sad place, but something deeply mysterious. Who knows what someone becomes after losing their body? Maybe chemical emotions disappear after death as well. But Riko says Mitty's eye felt similar to those of cave raiders driven by longing, which might mean that longing exists beyond ordinary desire. Reg tells Nanachi that Riko was revived using a relic, and that this might be why she can experience these connections. Later in chapter 67, Riko herself says that she sometimes feels touched by souls. After eating, they head out to the old beast's hidden hot spring. You can see its location in this manga panel. Reg helps Riko undress. It's so funny to see Reg gets embarrassed. Reg gets aroused and feels thirsty. Akito mentioned in an interview that Reg gets erect not because he's thinking of something lewd or wants to do something sexual. It's simply an innocent physiological response. Because of that, he doesn't ejaculate or anything. He hasn't reached sperm mark yet. Though Akito adds that fanworks can do whatever they like. We finally remove the mushrooms here. Nanachi warned that it would be incredibly painful. We see Riko wet herself from the excruciating pain. Riko begins trying to regain mobility. She manages to move her thumb a little, which means she'll eventually be able to use her hand again. Reg apologizes for what happened to Riko, saying that in the end, he couldn't save her. But Riko reminds him that it was his overwhelming sorrow which reminded Nanachi of Mitty, and led Nanachi to come and save her. Nanachi joins them. They are clearly trying to tell Reg and Riko that they want to join them, but Riko asks Nanachi first. Nanachi agrees. After fulfilling their initial desire, they are finally free to pursue all the desires that have accumulated over time, to go on adventures, to search for answers, to meet Mitty again at the bottom of the world, and to achieve their Haku. They weren't blessed just to simply give up and die. Nanachi has to repay everything Mitty did for them and fulfill Mitty's wish for their future. They begin preparing for the journey. We see them preserving medicine, sorting their cave raiding equipment, gathering water-resistant materials, making a support brace for Riko's hand, and creating a new backpack. They also send a mail balloon to the surface. This sequence becomes incredibly meaningful because we are retracing the entire path we've taken to get here, all the curses and blessings we've experienced. We see the balloon struggling to reach the surface, because as we've learned, the chances of one making it up from the fourth layer are incredibly low. But this story shows us something magnificent, the power of accumulation. We see Moroluk finds the mail balloon torn apart and cut on the way up. He repairs it and sends it back. In a way, accumulation allows us to achieve wishes that none of us could accomplish alone. When individuals work together, our abilities accumulate and become something far greater than any one person. This allows us to pursue desires beyond what one individual could ever achieve. No matter how strong or unshakable we become, we'll always be limited to the wishes that one individual can fulfill. This is where Ozen falls behind, remaining at the first value level, she. On the other hand, Bondrewd is the embodiment of Ku, the accumulation of value. He is literally multiple individuals working together like one enormous corporation, accomplishing wishes that no single individual could achieve alone. During this sequence, we hear the full version of the original soundtrack, Tomorrow. Akito said that Tomorrow and Gravity are his favorite tracks. The Made in Abyss OST is truly magnificent. I'd probably make an entire series exploring just the soundtracks. At the end of the sequence, we see Nat finds the mail balloon in the same place where Riko found Reg in the very first episode. That's strange. He also doesn't look happy at all. As he and Shigi walk through the town, we see eternal fortune petals scattered everywhere. This tells us that many people have died. Based on interviews, we know that most people have already evacuated the island of the Abyss. Only cave raiders with deep connections to the Abyss have remained. This is obviously because of the 2000-year cycle and the birthday-death disease we've already discussed. The interesting part is that for someone unaware of what's happening in Orth, these final shots of the city and the Abyss looks purely beautiful. But for those who look deeper, there is a very dark reason behind this beautiful sunset. We finally see our group leaving Nanachi's hideout to continue their journey into the deepest and darkest parts of the world in search of light. The final shot of the hideout resembles an eye looking back at Nanachi, which is a little unsettling. As for the post-credit scene, we see Bondrewd realizing that Nanachi was finally able to set Mitty free. All the other flesh lamps belong to other children who are still alive in his miniature garden. In this scene, we see Bondrewd has a tail. This is really important because at the beginning of the movie, we see him without one. It's a very subtle hint toward the third movie and its twist involving Bondrewd. This scene is longer in the second movie, where we see Purushka come to Bondrewd. We see them both tell each other they truly love one another. This was the overanalyzing of the final episode of Season 1, The Challengers. I'm really happy that I was able to finish this season successfully. I still have so many fascinating things I want to share about this story. Not just the anime itself, but the deeper layers of its plot and its magnificence. I'm truly thankful to all the viewers who inspired me to keep making these videos. As always, please help the channel reach more people by sharing the videos and leaving a comment. See you in the next one.